guys, it's Chelsea back with another video. Hope you guys got a chance to check the star review I did yesterday or any of the other videos that I recently posted up about the new editions of what I'm going to be doing with the channel. And today we're going to get into a review on Empire, which is another one of my favorite shows that I'm like really into. And so just to give you a little bit of a synopsis about what Empire is, for those of you who don't know, Empire is it's just like the star review I did today. It's about this family who has this record company, and well, not really record company, but like they have their own company and they have all these artists attached to the label, and the label's called Empire. So as you can see, the first season was like, Cookie coming back from jail because Cookie spent 17 years over a drug charge. And this season is a little bit more, it has more characters. It has Taye Diggs on it. It has this singer who's, recovering drug addict, and all these good different artists. It has Jay Popal, and it has all these other artists that are up and coming and actually good artists, so it's actually worth watching. And so this episode that I'm going to be doing a review of is episode 10 of season 4, and this was the mid-season premiere. Similar to Star, they do a mid-season premiere, they do a fall premiere, spring premiere, and a fall finale, and a spring finale. So some of the things that I wanted to talk about in today's video is, well, one of them actually is that Claudia, we see at the end of the last episode, which is episode 9, that Claudia, we don't know that it was Claudia, but eventually in the beginning of this episode we found out that Claudia is the one who took the syringe and gave Lucius the sedative that makes him fall asleep when he's visiting Andre. And I don't know, I know it's a show and everything, but how did Claudia go into this hospital, dress up like a doctor, pretend she was a doctor? I mean, she was a doctor because she helped recover, but pretend she was a doctor at the hospital, and gave him the sedative and the syringe, and then just rolled him out like it was nothing, and nobody didn't ask any questions. So we end up seeing that Claudia brings him to this house that her parents own in some woody area in the middle of nowhere, and she swears that she knows who Lucius is, but she only knows him through what she thinks he knows. She knows him as Dwight, and Dwight is not who Lucius identifies with. Dwight is just this other person that was part of his life, but Lucius is who he really is. And she's yeah, you're Dwight and I'm in love with Dwight. And he's like, no, I'm Lucius Lyon, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm not even in love with you, I'm in love with someone else. And she's just sick in the head, and she swears that Lucius is gonna go back to his old ways and be Dwight, and that they had some connection because when she was taking care of him, she's like, oh, you're my muse, I love you. And he mistaked her for Cookie. So she thinks they have this weird connection. It's no, you don't have no connection. You need to go sit down and stop trying to drug people and torture them. And then we also find out in this episode that Jamal is worried about Angelo, which is I don't know, why are you worried about Angelo? He deserved what he got, and he shouldn't have tried to hurt Warren because Warren was falling in love with Jamal. Even though what the Lyons family does is they kind of manipulate people, and they kind of try to get them to do illegal things or stuff like that. But even though the Lyons family is wrong, doesn't mean you need to go and do wrong by having someone manipulate someone in the family, and then when it turns out that they don't want to do it anymore, harming them. And then it's Jamal shouldn't be worried about Angel. I know he's has his issues with guns because he was shot accidentally by Frida, but like Angelo got what he deserved in my thoughts. And then we find out that Becky could be pregnant in this episode as well, because Portia, Portia, gotta be nosy, gotta be in everything. Portia was like, oh, seen her in the bathroom, and she comes out the bathroom and she's like, what's that in your hand? Knowing it's a pregnancy test. And then Becky like pulls out this bag of like 20, like had to be like 20 pregnancy tests. And Portia's like, yo, you pregnant. Like, I know you pregnant if you taking that much pregnancy test. Like, you really gotta make sure I know you pregnant. And she's like, they have this discussion between each other, and they're like, who's the father? And which we do kind of find out. So I kind of answered like my own question when I was addressing like what I wanted to speak on. I said like, who's the baby daddy for Becky? But we end up finding that it's J Papa. So towards the end, we see that Cookie comes to save Lucius. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about. We see that Cookie comes to save Lucius, and they go through this whole thing of, like Cookie's like sending him signs, and Lucius is sending signs back to her that Lucius, like they're sending signs to each other that they still care about each other, and the relationship exists with them and not between Lucius and Claudia. And so Claudia gets like this message that, everybody who either Lucius or Cookie dates end up like disappearing or dying because, they're always meant to be together and nothing can break them up. So she realizes because she might either die or go next, she's gonna die or go missing. She tries to kill Cookie, and like Cookie's like not having it. So then they go through this whole plan. The doctor shows up, Claudia's doctor, her therapist, which is crazy because a therapist has a therapist. Interesting. And Claudia's doctor comes up, so she goes outside. So when she goes outside, Lucius and Cookie come up with this way of like, yo, how are we gonna like get out of this house safe, and how are we gonna like get rid of this person because we don't want her coming back up. And so as soon as they go through all this plan of how they're gonna get out of where they are, because Cookie always come prepared. Cookie had a blade, so she's able to get out the ropes that Claudia had her in. And when Claudia least expected it, Cookie and her get into like this little tit for tat. They're fighting, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're fighting. And I'm like, Claudia, you have to go down, like. And then I see like, Lucius has this chance to kind of like make her disappear and like kill her, but like he ends up not killing her, and then the police is called. So I'm like, my question that I wanted to ask, or like that I'm like really want to know from the next episode is like, will Claudia come back? Because even when she was going in the ambulance, or like when the police was taking her away, she was like looking back at them. I'm like, oh, is she crazy? Is she like gonna come back up? Like, what's gonna happen in the next episode? And then another thing that I had a question about is what's next for Tiana and Hakeem, because we see at the end in the trailer for the next episode that they're gonna get married. So it's like, I wonder if it's gonna be like another thing with like Laura where he like wants to get married and then something bad happens, and then they're like, yeah, so she's not getting married to him, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, that sucks. And then another thing that I also want to look into is what's next for Cookie and Lucius, because I think that's going to be interesting to see. And also what's new for Becky in terms of, is she going to go to the doctor? Is she going to like tell people like she's pregnant? What's up with that? So that's it for this review. You guys let me know what any questions or any other like favorite moments you had in the episode, and we'll be back with another video.